Hi, everybody, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. Yay! This is my second video since I came back. And last night I posted the video about my trip to the national parks and all the mysterious stuff there. And I left off one really important thing. And after I left it off and realized it last night. And when I did that, I was like, why did I leave that off? I don't understand why. And then this morning when I was just meditating, my higher self or Holy Spirit within me spoke to me and said there was a very important reason why I left it off. And that's because I have Mikala here today with our brother and boss, Yeshua. We call him our brother because he thinks of all of you and myself and Mikala as his brothers and sisters. He does not think of us as lesser than him. He thinks of us as his brothers and sisters. And so I have Mikala and Yeshua here. He's going to speak through her. He comes in and kind of takes her over and speaks through her, which is just amazing and beautiful. And the reason I left that one item off of yesterday is because I'm going to be asking him about it to explain it to me and to all of you why that happened in the national park. So, welcome to the show, Mikala and Yeshua.
Hi,
Welcome.
Susie. Hi, everyone.
I
Thank you
want
for
to.
having us.
Oh, you're welcome. I want to tell everybody kind of what happened, what I left off of. I'm going to tell them what I left off right now of the video, and then I'm going to, of course, ask him when he's in there and he's having me ask
When he's doing his
questions.
thing.
Yeah, when he's doing his thing. But basically, the biggest thing I left off that was extremely important was that even my husband was blown away with what I call. I don't know if they were NPCs. We're going to have our brother Yeshua, our brother boss Yeshua, confirm it. But basically, everywhere we would go in these national parks, there were people blocking the roads with 20 cars piled up behind them. And on the way to the national parks on one-lane roads, there would be people with campers or people just driving with 100 cars backed up behind them. And they just didn't even care. Like, they were in their own little world. They were very self-absorbed, self-centered, narcissistic something, NPCs. I don't know what, but they had zero consciousness about who was around them, what's around them, and they were rude. And inside the parks, we had people standing in the way, like you would try to go to a thing to read it or go somewhere, and you'd have people blocking you and just not giving a crap about who's around them. You would have people blocking the hiking trails. You would have people stopping in the middle of the road to take photos with 30 cars backed up behind them, and they were just stopping right. They would suddenly slam on their brakes to take a photo with all these cars behind them instead of pulling off into the picture taking area. There was thousands and thousands of places where people could pull off the road to take photos, and these people would stop in the middle of the road. And I would sit there and I would just observe people. And then when we would go to eat in restaurants, I would observe, because I'm like a scientist. I constantly study humans and their behavior 24/7. And I can tell the ones that are reptilians and NPCs and all this stuff. And there were so many of these people that are like lifeless, empty shells, and they're just sitting there doing their thing. And even like some of the people at the cash registers, like I could tell the people who really engaged with me, who were the cashiers at the different places, and they really engaged and they had that spark of soul and spirit in their eye. You could tell that they were full of Holy Spirit. And then you had the ones who were literally like a lifeless robot. They're just there with this blank stare in their eye. Here's your money, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day. And they said the same thing over and over. And they were like almost like robotic people. And so I was just kind of studying this the whole time I was on vacation. I was literally observing humans every day, all day long, everywhere we went, in parks, in restaurants, on the road, and really blown away. So let's get busy. I have a lot of questions, actually. Well, not a lot, but I have several very important questions for Yeshua. And so do you have anything to say
Sure.
before he comes in? Do you have anything to say? Like, what have you been up
I just
to? Do
want
you
to
want to
remind
tell
everyone,
everyone?
I don't remember what he's going to say or do, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Do not shoot the messenger or my sister. Okay? So just take what resonates and leave the rest.
Yes, take what resonates and leave the rest. And if anybody says anything rude or mean in the comments, I pre-approve all the comments before they go up. And by the way, I just wanted to remind you all about that. If you're commenting and you're not seeing your comment right away, it's because I have to pre-approve them. And the reason I have to pre-approve them is I had too many people attacking me over the last 5 years and had to delete some really vile, disturbing, disgusting content. And so when you comment, please keep it positive. If you're going to say something negative, I'm going to delete you and I'm going to block you from the channel, because Mikala and I operate on a frequency of 100% love and light 24/7. We're just pure love and light, which is why Yeshua is able to come into Mikala, who, by the way, is in a wheelchair. Okay. She's got cerebral palsy, and she is not somebody that it's okay for you to attack, berate, bully, and be rude to. If you go on her channel and you try to bully her and attack her,
I will block you.
Yeah, she'll block you too. The other thing about that is if you attack her, sorry, there's a little bug flying around here. If you attack her, the recourse to you, or what we call the reverberation of that back at you, what we call the universal boomerang, is going to be horrific for you. Because when you go after somebody who is handicapped and they are a pure love and light, just pure 100% love frequency, and they have somebody who is their brother, Yeshua, standing there and protecting her 24/7. He's very protective of
He's
her.
always here with me.
You're going to get your ass kicked. That's all I have to say. So if you go
He's
after
always here
either
with
of
me.
us,
So
yep. Yep. And he's not always with me 24/7. He pops in when I need him or when he has something to say to me. But he is always with you. He's not always with me. And the reason why he doesn't have to be always with me, because I have 6 pretty tall beings standing around me 24/7. And he doesn't. I have bodyguards that are pretty hardcore, and
yeah, she was my bodyguard. So
yeah, my bodyguards are pretty intense. And so
yeah,
he just has to come in and chat with me when he has a message for me, or when I want to talk. When I call him in, obviously he comes in, but he is with
yeah.
Mikala literally 24/7. And if you mess with her, it's not going to be pretty for you, because
No, it's not.
it's very bad things will happen to you, trust me, and you will
And he's
regret it
standing
for
here
eternity.
smiling at all of you.
Yeah. So, okay. So do we want to bring him in, and then, and we did you want to do protection again, or we already did it before? We did the protection
We
before.
did it before, but if you feel we need to do it again, we can. It's up to you.
Well, that's up to you and him. Does he think you should do it, or?
But what do you think we should? He said, no, let's just give it and go right to the good
Okay,
stuff.
so Mikala spends a lot of time grounding, centering, and protecting herself every time
Yes, I do.
she does videos, or we do videos together, or anytime she has him come in and she channels for her clients or anyone. Because and by the way, she does do sessions for people, and I will
And
have
if you
her.
don't take notes, you'll be screwed.
Yeah, and if you don't take notes, you will be screwed, or record it. And the reason why is because she doesn't remember anything she says when he goes in, because she steps aside. Her ego, her mind, everything steps aside, and she doesn't remember anything. And it's the same with myself. If you are having a private session with me and I start to channel source, I only channel 2 things, and that's my higher self, who's in 12th dimension or 12th density, and God and creator source. And when I'm channeling, I don't remember what I say, because my brain, my human brain, gets kind of pushed aside, and then the info
Exactly.
flows through. Yeah, and we don't remember it. So you have to take notes, and you have to, because if you ask me an hour later, what did you say? I'm not going to know. So
So whatever Yeshua says to me, it's his words, not mine.
yeah.
Okay, so do not shoot the messenger.
Yep, don't. It's his words, not hers. He speaks different, but he does kind of speak the way Mikala does. When he's talking to me and we're having a conversation, he speaks to me more in his terminology, and then sometimes I have to like change the words around so you'll understand what he's saying, because he talks very old fashion to me. He talks like we did 2000 years ago when he's speaking to me. But when he talks through Mikala, he's kind of utilizing Mikala's, how do you want to say, her language.
My vocab.
Yeah, her vocabulary. And so when she's speaking or he's speaking through her, it'll sound kind of like how she would talk to you, because he's utilizing that so that you will understand her better, so that you will understand. Because when he talks to me, I understand him, because back in the day I spoke Aramaic, Hebrew, all these languages.
So
And
did I.
so yeah, and so did Mikala.
Yeah.
And so Mikala and I were both there together, by the way.
We were. Yes.
Yep, we both were there, and she's already seen all
There are
her,
scenes as well.
she's seen everything. She knows it all. And we were both, yeah, we were both there. So, but when he talks to me, I totally understand everything he's saying, except for that one time when he said he was bringing back new Shambhala, and then I felt like a moron, and I had to go look up the word Shambhala, because I didn't know it meant kingdom of heaven. It meant kingdom of heaven, basically. And I'm like, he said, I'm bringing back new Shambhala. I'm like, what the heck is new Shambhala? And then I went and
what
I
made
looked.
me laugh is when he said, shit will indeed hit the fan. I was like, that really made me laugh.
That's because he was speaking to you in your language that you would
Yeah.
understand better. He would not, like, in his own language, he wouldn't really say that, but he's saying it to you because he wanted you to
It
jive
made me
with that.
laugh and it
Yeah.
made me understand it. Yeah. Yeah.
But usually I understand everything he says, except for the one time when he said, and this was back in 2019, when he popped in the room and he said, I'm bringing back new Shambhala. And I'm like going, what the heck's a Shambhala? I didn't know what a Shambhala was. I had to
I
look it
know.
up, and it means kingdom of heaven or kingdom of peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my human idiot brain, and it's embarrassing because he knows everything, and I'm sitting there all embarrassed, but anyway. Alrighty, so do we want to get going? And I'm going to ask some
Okay. So you
questions.
ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready? Bubby, you ready? Okay. I release my ego and my biases, and only consent to Sananda Yeshua to do his thing through the will of the body with the purest intention of light and love. And so it is. Here we go.
Yes.
And I'll see you guys after.
Yep.
Once again, greetings unto you, beloved brothers and sisters of light divine. I am the one you know simply as Yeshua the Christ, your beloved brother and friend and equal. Greetings, dear one.
Greetings. Thank you for coming into Mikala again for me to answer questions. I really appreciate
Indeed, it's
it.
our pleasure, dear one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are things? I have to ask you, because I don't want to be selfish and make this all about me and all of the people that watch my videos. How are things going for you, Yeshua, and all of the beings of light on the other side right now?
We will say unto you, dear one, you are not the only one with challenges. Does that make sense for you? We are
Yes.
indeed experiencing it right there with you.
So you have challenges on the other side. Everything's not perfect.
Indeed. Indeed. But it
Yeah,
is, shall we say, getting there.
it is getting there.
As more love and light is integrating upon your holy mother, the earth, this time.
That's good. So, all right. So I was telling everyone, and you were there listening, so you know what I was talking
Of course.
about these NPCs. But the first question I have, excuse me, before we ask about them, is when the big event happens that some people call this great solar flash, some people call it the love wave, some people call it the purification. Everybody has a different name for it. Some people call it the event. The Native Americans had different names, and the natives and even the ancient people had different names for it.
Indeed.
When this big event happens, we know that there's different times all over the world. So like when I'm awake, other people in the world are asleep and that type of thing. When this hits the planet in the United States here, where Mikala and I are, what will we be awake or asleep when the event happens?
We will say unto you, dear one, and please listen carefully. This will be a surprise for all of you. You will
Okay.
not, as to say, see it coming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you will, in truth, feel the vibration change or shift around you.
Okay. So
More loving and light.
more loving and
Does
light.
that make
Okay.
sense for you?
Yes, it does. So will there be any kind of signs or symbols like it says in the Bible and Revelations, there's going to be signs and symbols and wonders in the sky and miracles, and are any of these kind of
Indeed,
things?
this is what is going to happen more frequently. You yourself, beloved, have also seen signs of this already in your Utah, dear one. Have you not?
Yes, and I took pictures of them.
Signs are everywhere. A miracle is happening everywhere. Every day is a miracle, dear one, is it not?
Yes, and my entire crown chakra is tingling right now.
Of course, dear one, we know this.
It's all tingling listening to that.
As
Yes.
I am right there with you on your
So
right hand side.
wow. So it's going to be a complete surprise to everyone all over the world when
Indeed.
this event happens.
Indeed.
Okay. All right. So what was I going to say? So the big question is these people who were in the parks, the people who that were driving on the road, were all of them NPCs or only a certain percentage of them, and they were just narcissistic, or what was going on with all these people?
The majority of them, beloved, are NPCs.
Okay.
There were some that were, should we say, having of no consciousness, as you would say, a robot.
Right.
But most of them, however, dear one, was NPCs.
Okay. Okay. So they're just those backdrop people that Dolores Cannon talks about, where they're just kind of there as part of the matrix. And
They're just a filter, dear one.
okay. Okay. So when the event happens, what will happen to all of those types of people? What will happen to all of them?
We will say some of them will indeed be leaving the planet and going to another third density consciousness planet. We will say some of them, however, will have a choice whether to be integrated into light and love or not. But some will be removed. Does that make sense for you?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Um, so will any of them be staying here at all?
The ones that are of love and light in the higher frequency, as yourself and our beloved Mikala are, that you guys will be staying. You guys are safe and divinely guided and protected. Loved
Okay.
and supported.
Okay. All right.
But the
So,
ones that do not have, go ahead, Darren. Go ahead.
oh no, that's okay. Go finish, please. Sorry to interrupt.
But the ones that have a lower vibrational consciousness will be either leaving the planet, going to another third density consciousness planet, or choosing whether to stay or go. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does. So okay, so Michaela and I both have the same thing in common, where we have our family members are, number one, not awake, and number two, extremely mean, rude, and not nice to us. Just they mistreat us, they're disrespectful to
Indeed.
us. What will happen? So there's two types of people. So my clients every day all complain about the same thing that I complain about, which is I feel extremely alone. And Michaela also has shared this with me, that
Yes.
she feels very alone because we're literally completely surrounded by these people who think we're crazy, think we're, they're yelling at us, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, you're nuts, you need to be locked up, you're an anti-vaxxer, you're this, you're that. There's two types of people I've noticed that my clients talk about. There's the asleep family members who are rude and mean and disrespectful. And then there's the asleep family members who are really, really nice, kind, loving, high vibe people that are just asleep because they've been what we call mind controlled
Mind control, yes.
by the cabal. So what will happen to these two groups of people? So there's group A, which we're going to call the
Asleep.
the nasty ones, and group B, who are the better ones. So what will happen to them?
Well, let us start, dear one, by starting with group A, as you call it. Group A, or these asleep nasty family members, will be leaving the planet. And we say this, dear one, not to, should we say, frighten anyone, because when you're in fear, you are intensifying that fear within you. Does that make sense, dear one? But indeed, we say this out of, should we say, warning for all of you. When your asleep family members are choosing themselves not to awaken to their Christ self and raise their vibrational frequency, and consistently putting others down and rejecting oneself, and should we say, leaving one in a state of unsureness or pain or struggle or strife or fear, they are serving as a mirror for you, dear one. All things are a mirror back to you. Does that make sense for you? So what you are seeing within your, should we say, asleep family members is they are presenting themselves as a challenge for you, beloved ones, to stand in your power and in your truth. And the more you, should we say, stand in your power, the more, should we say, for lack of a better word, pissed off they would get, dear one. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Indeed. So when you stand in your power, you are magnifying the anger to them, dear one. Does that make sense? Because you were standing in your goddess self. And you're not letting anyone control you or manipulate you in your power, dear one. For no one has control over you but yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So these beings that are, let's just say, not so nice to you and our beloved sister will be taken care of and leaving the physical planet and going into another third density consciousness planet. Does that make sense for you?
Yes. Absolutely.
Having said this, dear ones, we will move now into group B, the asleep family members that are nice and loving and respect and appreciation. This does not mean they will not be ascending to a higher level of consciousness. This means that they will arise to their Christ self when they are ready. Everyone ascends at their own different times, dear one, for the soul's journey. Does that make sense for you? So we will give extra difference to you to, we say, keep your vibration level up in time of darkness, in time of struggle, in time of standing with your family members, dear ones. We will say this unto you when you feel down or are being put down by your beloved family members that are asleep. Use that power against you to raise one's vibration frequency as high as you can. Use it as a empowering mechanism. Does that make sense, dear one? Use it as a strength mechanism. And use it as, one would say, getting a sense of humor. Does that make sense, dear one? If you engage with a sense of humor upon everything that you see with the physical eyes, which is nothing more than a belief or a lie of the mind. That is all belief is, dear ones. when you, should we say, interject fear and pain and lower vibration consciousness into emotions of happiness and of laughter, then you will intentionally raise your vibration frequency. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
We will say you have an interesting saying in your world of terminology and duality. Laughter is indeed the best medicine. Does that make sense to you? You have to laugh at life. Laugh at everything, even if you don't see it to be funny in your perceptions. Know that it is not your perception that is being judged upon you, but their own perceptions. It is their perceptions of fear and ego and pain that is projected onto you. Perception equals projection, dear ones. Does that make sense for you? Does that help answer your question, beloved?
Yes, it does. And if you when you did a little I guess session for me, Mikala, you were talking to me and also Mikala about dealing with our own family member situation and basically just like laughing at them and walking away, and they're going to be
Indeed.
confused. And they're going to be confused. And you even said to me to literally look them in the eye and go, "Demons, be gone," and then walk away laughing. And walk
Because
away
indeed, dear one,
laughing.
when you interject humor, it throws the counterbalance of fear, pain, and greed off, dear one. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
It throws them all out of whack because they don't know what to think or how to perceive. So in truth, they just simply stop talking.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, dear one?
Yes, you were always telling me all the time to laugh, like the time that I was laying on the table and getting body talk, and you popped in there, and my practitioner had never even seen you before, and you actually freaked her out because she had never seen you before, because she was like a Buddhist and she'd never even
Indeed, yes,
read,
I remember that, dear
she'd
one. That
never
was quite funny.
she never ever read the Bible in her life. She didn't know anything about it. She didn't know anything about you or what you even really look like. And you popped in
This
and
is what we call a surprise, dear one.
she was very shocked to see you. She was very shocked. And then you told her to tell me to throw my head back and laugh when my teenage kids were being really disrespectful. Now they're adults now, but when they were teenagers, they were being very disrespectful.
Indeed.
And you said, throw your head back and just laugh.
Indeed. For indeed, this is the best medicine. Laughter is the key.
Yeah.
That no matter what is going on around you, you can raise your vibration and laugh at it. Because
Yeah.
around you means anything. Only
Yeah.
the internal world means something, dear one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for you?
Yes, absolutely.
Does it help answer your question, beloved?
Yes, it does. The big question I have now, and this is the question that, I try to help my clients with, and it's always their question is, they always say, how do I deal, until the event happens, how do I deal with being surrounded by these family members that are the ones that are rude and mean, continuously? Like, so how should they deal with it? Pretty much just the laughter, the same thing, or do you have
We
any
will
other
say
advice?
unto you, dear one, it is a mixture of laughter and of grounding, centering, and protecting, as you call it. Grounding yourself, setting your intentions to be higher in your vibration. Setting your intentions, beloved, is the key. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
For have I not said off and on to you? The four keys to the kingdom are intention, desire, allowance, and acceptance. Does that make sense, dear one?
Yes, it does.
So all one need do is, before one lifts the head off the pillow in the morning in time and space, set your intentions to be higher than everybody else in your vibrational frequency, calling in your spirit guides, ascended masters, and teachers to help you in this process. This is why we are here, beloved ones, to help assist you. Because in truth, we love you. And there is indeed no separation. Does that make sense, beloved?
Yes.
Does that help answer your question?
Yes. So a lot, then when I tell people stand in your power, which you've been saying a lot, you've said it to me, you told me that I need to, that when I asked, why am I with these people? And one of the reasons you said is because I am needing to learn how to stand in my power. And so can you give everybody who is supposed to stand in their power, can you kind of give some tips on how do we stand in our, because there's a lot of people who are going to say, well, how do I stand in my power? I don't really know what that means. A lot of people have no clue what that means. What does
We will
standing in
say
your
that
power
standing in
mean?
your power is simply releasing the ego, releasing the need to be people pleasing, dear one. Stop people pleasing. Stop trying to fit in. There is no need to fit in this duality. Be your loving self, that what you are. There is no need to be anything else but that love, unconditional love. For you are God, dear one, for indeed you are. It is that simple. And you may say, well, Yeshua, how do I be loving when these people are projecting onto me fear and their perceptions? That's it, dear one. They are perceiving. You cannot control them, but in truth, you can control yourself. Choose to see with the eyes of Christ is simply choosing to perceive from light and love rather than fear and misperception. Does that make sense, dear one?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Indeed, this is a challenge for your beloved humanity to stand firm in your power and let go of one's ego. The ego would simply say, I'm not worthy, I'm not beautiful, I'm not powerful, I'm not strong enough, I can't do this. Nobody loves me, nobody cares. That kind of thing, dear one. But we will say the heart center, that is Father, Mother, God, will say, I am light, I am love, I am that I am one with all things. I am the comforter and creator. What I create is what I decree. Does that make sense, dear one?
Yes.
Does that help answer your question, beloved?
Yes. And you always say, what I decree shall be.
Indeed, because your words are powerful, dear one. Because in truth, what you are doing is you're sending a vibrational signal out into the ethers about what you want. To be clear about what you want, stating your intentions out loud. That's the key. Stating your intentions out loud, out the mouth. Because a lot of you beloveds will, should we say, bottle it up and keep it in. And we simply encourage you to speak your truth without any hesitation or reservation. Because in truth, there is no judgment of the Father, Mother, God. We are but love. We are but one. Does that make sense, beloved?
Yes.
Therefore, dear one, it is simple because in truth, love heals all things, allows all things, trusts all things, transcends all things, and embraces and accepts all things, dear one. And you are that love, unconditional, infinite, and eternal beings. Does that make sense, beloved?
Yes.
And you're smiling, dear one, at us because you know that this is indeed true. For this is what when Yeshua taught so many times ago in your duality, and I am yet bringing you back to this, our beloved. Does that help answer your question, beloved?
Yes, it does. Is there any other important message you would like to tell everybody who's watching this video? Everyone who sees this video, there might be, I don't know, a few thousand people or more that are going to watch. I mean, every now and then I get several thousand people, and sometimes I just get a couple thousand people, but it's going to be at least a few thousand people that see this. So do you have any message that you would like everybody to know that will help them for all of the events that are going to be unfolding over the rest of this year?
Indeed, there will be a lot unfolding this year, and your miracles, as you call them, will be seen and heard, dear one, by the Father, Mother, God. He will have his hand in everything that you see and feel and hear, dear one. For you are indeed never alone. You are one with the Creator, as am I, dear one. We are all equal in the eyes of the Creator, regardless of your perceptions. And if you say, Yeshua, I'm not worthy of love, think again, beloveds. Think again. Because you are love. You are the embodiment of that love. Do not let anyone lower your vibration to appease anyone, but one must only need to appease oneself first, starting with self-love, self-care, and self-appreciation, dear one. And what does this mean? I love myself as I am. I am grateful that all my financial needs are always met, as I and my Father are indeed one. There is nothing that you cannot accomplish, beloveds. It is, should we say, of the mind that does the overthinking, dear ones. But in truth, it is not you doing the work, but the Father, Mother, God, Abba, living and doing through you. And it is indeed that simple. Does that make sense for you, beloveds?
Makes sense to me, because I know that each and every human on this earth is basically a unique way that the Creator, Mother, Father, God is, or what we call Abum, is expressing itself. Each
Indeed.
person is basically just God in action, and God,
So when you, should we
yeah.
say, put yourself down and say, my body's fat, or my body's this way, or I'm not worthy of love, and I don't want to be here anymore, you're putting the God itself down within you. Bring it up, lift it up. As they say, raise the vibration. Get it up by lifting your vibration in meditation and prayer, and going within and saying, Father, show me what needs to be done. And through you can be done all things. And watch and see what happens. That is
Wow.
key, dear one.
That was definitely directed at me because
Well, there's a
that
lot of
I've been
there's a
saying,
lot of brothers and sisters that feel the same way, dear one.
yeah, because I've been complaining a lot lately about how fat I am, and also because I put
You
on
are a beautiful,
a lot of weight.
radiant being of light and love, dear one. Do not take away from yourself. Because
Yeah.
when you take away from yourself, you're taking away from your Goddess power.
Yeah.
Do not do this to yourself. Even though others would shame you and downgrade you, don't let that stop you from bringing the truth of who you are. And that is perfect love in its purest form. And we speak to all of you, beloveds. This is for all of you. It is about you, dear one, standing in your truth and being the beautiful beings of love and light that you are. For
Mhm.
when we see you, dear ones, we do not see the vessel of the physical body, but merely the soul essence of you, the Goddess self within you. So the body doesn't matter to us. You're perfect just as you are, and we love you, and we shower you with compassion, tenderness, and mercy, beloveds. It is indeed that simple. Does that make sense, beloved?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, definitely helps me today, because I struggle a lot with the body stuff, with the, being overweight and having a lot of pain in the body, and just
Beloved, we will say
aging.
unto you that a lot of your beloved brothers and sisters struggle with what you term self-esteem issues. because of what they've been through and others putting the body down. But remember, dear one, you are not the body. You are merely the spirit choosing to have a human embodiment, shall we say. The spirit is eternal, and you are light and love, regardless of your own perceptions. Does that make sense for you, beloved?
Yep. The spirit is perfect just the way it is.
Indeed.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Take a deep breath, beloved, and just feel into the love that we're sending each and every one of you on this beautiful day on your holy mother, the earth, at this time.
Wow.
As more love and light is integrating upon your planet at this time, dear one.
Wow.
And we want to say thank you to all of you beautiful servants of light, servants of the Most High, or servants of the Father, Mother, God, for coming back into physical form to raise the vibration of your Holy Mother, the Earth, as well as your beloved other brothers and sisters, dear ones. For it is indeed with your help that we do the will of our Father, Mother, Abba. And we thank and love all of you for this. We know and acknowledge that this was not easy for a lot of you to do, come back into a physical vehicle of the body, but we commend you and honor you and bow before you for doing so, dear one. And we know this is emotional for a lot of you because you are feeling you don't feel like you're being recognized. Well, let us, and I say us, the many beings of love and light that surround you at this time, bow before you and acknowledge your presence, and acknowledge the I am presence within you, dear one, and commend you for your fantastic work upon your holy mother, the earth. It is through this, our beloved, that we speak these words of truth and of light and of love to all of you with a sincere heart of compassion, dear one. We understand how you feel because we have been there. As they say, we have been there, done that. So you are not alone, dear one. Even though it may seem as though the darkness is overtaking you, the beings of light and love that are light workers cannot be overtaken. Because you have made a contract to do the will of our Father, Mother, God, and be, should we say, some of you are the voices of one Yeshua, such as this, our beloved, and some of you are teachers and Ascension teachers and guides and helpers upon your Holy Mother, the Earth, dear one. Do not take away from yourself, only add to it with love. That indeed is what you are, and that can never change, dear one. Does that make sense for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you, beloved, are getting emotional as we speak these words with truth because your heart is so pure and so open that you're feeling these emotions.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to lose it, which is why I choked. I'm getting choked
we're
up.
actually crying through her because we are feeling the emotions for all of you, beloved. And we appreciate your service to humanity, every one of you. And we acknowledge how hard this has been for you. But we advise you to keep the flame of eternity in your heart. Keep the flame of hope in your heart. It is almost over, dear ones. It is almost over. We're almost to the finish line. As they say, hang in there a little while longer and call upon us, and we will be there to love, guide, and support and assist you. Does that make sense, dear one?
Yeah, it's really hard when you're hated on every single day by the people who surround you. It's really,
But when
really
people hate
challenging.
you, dear one, this means that you're standing in your power. This means when beloved brothers and sisters and family members hate you, this means the more aggravated they get, you're standing in your power. And we are proud of you for that. It takes courage and the willingness to say, I am God. Does it not, dear one? For indeed you are. And all of you are, dear one. There is not one single one Yeshua. I never said I was the only son of God. I said, In truth, I am the Son of Man. All of you are God. Ye are God. You are God, dear one. As am I. All is one. One love, one mind, one heart, and one Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is what is yet emerging again upon your Holy Mother, the Earth, at this time. And thank you to all of our light workers, of servants of light, to help us do this process. And as you would say, we would be nothing without you. So we thank you and love you. And our gratitude and appreciation goes out to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging myself and Mikala and everyone, because I know that a lot of my clients are in the same boat as I'm in, where they're not getting any positive feedback.
You are being heard, dear one. Every single one of you is being heard. You're never ignored. Even though you may seem like God never answered your prayers. Think again, dear one. God or the Father, Mother, Creator, Prime Source always hears you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that we will say, dear one, is it's all in divine timing. God's in his, her, its own time versus your time. For your time isn't linear. His time is unlimited. He does things in the way that is best for humanity. But more love and light is integrating. And the darkness is rearing its head up for one last, shall we say, shit show, as we say. And this is not to be discouraging to all of you. This is only to help you stand in your power, beloved. You can do this. You got this, dear ones. And we are so proud of you. Does that help answer your question, beloved?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't have any other questions right now. I'm sure I will always have more questions
You will later.
in the future. I have 0 questions at this point right now, but yes, I appreciate your time, Yeshua. I appreciate your time and your love and your energy and your support and everything that you've given me since I was born into this body, and also in my previous incarnation. I am so grateful.
Indeed, you have, should we say, been with one Yeshua many times, as this our beloved Mikala has as well. And we bow before both of you and say we love you so much. And we thank you for everything.
Thank you.
And we could not do this without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being the voices of one Yeshua. It means everything to me, beloved. Thank you.
I am honored. Thank you.
And the honor is ours, dear one, for we are one. There is no separation. And we love you, dear one, so much. All of you are equal to one Yeshua. You're equally powerful. So when one puts oneself down, remember, I am power, I am grace, I am light, I am love, I am peace. I can do this. I am Father, Mother, God in form. I stand in my power. I am confident in oneself, for indeed you are. It is indeed that simple, dear ones. Does that make sense for you, beloved?
Yes, and I try to do those affirmations at least once a day. I have some days I forget, and I like to do them when I'm walking on the treadmill.
We will say the energies, however, is intensifying upon your Holy Mother, the Earth, at this time. So it is important to, should we say, do them at least 3 times a day. The morning before you arise out of bed, and in the middle of the day, and at night before one rests one's head on the pillow, just to extra protect oneself. Does that make sense, beloved?
Yes.
Indeed.
So are we talking about doing the affirmations or doing protection or doing both? I always tell everyone to do protection when they arise in the morning and when they go to bed at night, and also before they're going to get in their
We will say
car.
protecting and grounding, dear one.
Okay.
Protect, ground, and center. The affirmations is to help the, shall we say, self-esteem issues that the public or your humanity has. Raise the vibration. For when you raise your vibration, you are helping raise the consciousness of Mother Gaia or Mother Earth, dear one. That is how powerful you are. That is the work that all of you can do. For the things that I have done, you will therefore also do, dear one. Does that make sense for you? Meaning, greater works than I have done, you will also do. Meaning, you can do more things than I have ever done. Because you are equally that powerful, dear one. You have the goddess within you. It is not separate from you. If I can do it, you can do it too, dear ones. Rise above your, should we say, ashes, and be the phoenix, the conquering phoenix of all misperceptions and deceptions and illusions, dear one. You can do this. Does that make sense for you, dear ones?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Does that help answer your question, beloved?
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Indeed. We understand that this is, should we say, a time of struggle and strife, but setting your intentions not to falter into the man's misperception of, should we say, falsehoods and of unworthiness and of raising one's frequency vibration can help you and assist your ascension process, dear one. For some of you will indeed be ascending, and some that are not ready to be out of their, should we say, state of consciousness that is a baby soul, shall we say, will not be ascending. Does that make sense for you, beloved?
Yes.
Is there any other questions, beloved one?
So you have told Michaela and myself that certain family members, the reason they behave the way they are is because they are a baby soul. Can you maybe address to
Yes.
everybody what is what does it mean to be a baby soul? What is the meaning of that exactly?
Beloved, we will say unto you the meaning of a baby soul is, should we say, to put one simpler terms for you, we will say the meaning of a baby soul in truth is the level of consciousness they are in their physical form right now. The soul is not fully evolved and has not had many lifetimes upon your holy mother the earth. The soul has only had one incarnation, and the soul will have to keep reincarnating until it accomplishes how to be loving, compassionate, tender, sweet, kind, generous, everything of the Father, Mother, God that they are not right now. They're going to have to reincarnate and experience again, dear one, just on a different dimensional planet. That is what a baby soul is. But let us reassure you, beloved, you and our beloved sister, Michaela, are not baby souls. You guys are, shall we say,
Old
high
farts.
density beings of love and light. And this means you are from higher realms and higher dimensions, dear one. So in truth, you've had to squeeze your being into a third density body, which is causing your physical body a lot of pain.
Yes.
Because you've had to squeeze into a body that is so low vibration, it is causing your bodies to be in so much pain.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, beloved?
Yep, you said that to me before, that that is the reason why my body hurts. And it's so funny because I have all of these people who chime in and say, "Oh, maybe you have this, and oh, maybe you have that, and maybe, and or else you should try this and you should try that." And none of that applies, because in the end, my personal situation has to do with taking a 12 density being and shoving it into a third density body.
Indeed,
And there's no
they do
cure
not
for this.
understand you because
There's
they
no
are
cure
full
for
of,
that.
should we say, misperception
Yeah.
of the ego. And the
Yeah.
ego would say, you need to do such and such and put you down. Where the heart would say, I love you, I am loving, I am peace and light and one with the Creator. Does that make sense for you, dear one?
Yeah, constantly have people say, "Oh, if you try this thing, it'll make all your pain go away." And I've tried everything known to man and it doesn't go away, and it's not going to go away until my
It
body
is about
transcends.
being in your natural flow state, saying as your terminology, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, and let it go. Just let it go because it's no longer serving you.
Mhm.
Putting your intention to let it go and let it roll off your back like a turtle and say, enough is enough, I'm done. With the misperception and judgments and fear, I only consent to light and love. And so it is. It is in truth that simple, dear one.
It's so funny
Does that help
because
answer your question, beloved?
yes, you said the what they call the F bomb, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to come on and say, "She's not channeling Yeshua because he would never say that word." And it's like,
Indeed, dear
yeah.
one. But in truth, let us say this. I too have a sense of humor, dear one. Do I not?
Hmm.
This is indeed my sense of humor. And yes, there will be a lot of people that come on and judge you and, shall we say, persecute you, dear one. But remember, one Yeshua was persecuted by man's conception of what they thought one Yeshua would be or should be. But did that stop our family? No. Does that make sense, dear one? One
Yeah.
need not be in fear of these, should we say, harsh criticism people, dear one, because they do not see themselves as equal to me. They see one Yeshua as higher and greater because of their upbringings and their brainwashing and their, should we say, mind control. But I am equal to you. Instead of putting one Yeshua on the pedestal, put one's teaching on the pedestal of light and love. It is indeed that simple, dear one. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. Yep.
Is there any other questions, beloved?
Nope, you said many times you were a human, that you had strife and you had anger and you had
Indeed.
all the same emotions as humans did when you were here. You said bad words, you did everything a human does when you are in a human
Indeed.
body. So,
Indeed. And it is not a bad word, Darren, until you set your intention behind it. What is the intention behind it? The intention is the key. Like if you say the F word, as you call it, and then say, or the H word, and you tell everyone to go to hell, quote unquote, then they would say, oh, he said that word. No, it is your intention behind it. What is your intention behind it? If you say it with a joking meaning behind it, with light and love, then it's not a bad thing. But if you say it with a harmful intention behind it, yes. Does that make sense for you, beloved?
I've been telling this to my clients forever, because I've had so many clients come to me about the whole concept of swearing. And I've told them that it is healthy to express yourself and express your emotions. And it's all about the intentions you put behind the words. So if I were to call my spouse a terrible name, that is a bad thing because of the intention behind it.
Indeed.
Whereas if I bang my toe into the end of the bed and break it, which I've done several times, believe it or
And you
not,
say SOB.
and I say SOB, or I say the F word, or I say something because I hurt myself, there's nothing wrong with that. But there will
No,
always be people standing around me, judging me and telling me, "Oh, you can't say that word."
indeed. as this one, our beloved Mikala has done when she would put out videos of one Yeshua. Hang on a second.
I think Michaela's dealing with her family. Or Yeshua is dealing with Michaela's family through her.
Yes, beloved, I'm sorry. We had to deal with her family walking in. Well, she's good. We're good. We're good. So, where were we, dear one? This
We're
happens all the time with the videos, so this is normal for us.
Yeah, it's and you have the what we call the asleep family that interrupt, and I've had that in the past as well. So I totally understand that. But basically, what you all need to know, and Yeshua is also making you understand, is he was a human at one time, and he is equal to us. He doesn't see himself as a god or better than us. And anything that we do, it's all about energy, intention, frequency. That is what life is all about. Energy,
Laughter is the best
frequency,
medicine.
and laughter
And if
is the best
you
medicine.
raise one's vibration by saying the F word or saying something with the purest intention of laughter, so be it. Do it. Do what makes you happy, dear one. Feel into your love. Feel into your power. Do what makes you happy. It is indeed that simple. Does that make sense for you, beloved?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yep.
Is there any other questions, beloved one?
Nope, I have no more questions, and we've gone way over an hour, and I promised Michaela we were going to try to keep it around an hour, because for multiple reasons. But thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you for everything.
Indeed,
And
we love you, dear one.
I love you
And we
as
are
well.
always with you. Always.
I love you more than anything. Sending big hugs.
And we reciprocate that back to you. We love you, dear one.
Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is. Whew.
Hi, Sissy. Hi, everyone.
That was a long one. He was in there for a long time.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't bore all of you too much.
No,
Hopefully.
I'm never bored by him ever, ever, ever. I've never
No,
been
never.
bored. I've been listening to him since I was a tiny little girl, and he's never bored me. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I first started hearing him talking in my head when I was like 4 years old, something like that, 5 years old.
Yeah, me too. I was like, hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope this helps all of you. And just keep an open mind and heart. Do not shoot the messenger. Whatever Yeshua said is what he said. Not me. I didn't say it. He said it.
Yep, absolutely. Michaela has her own personality, her own ideas, her own beliefs, everything separate from his. What he says is very different from the way she presents everything in her life. You know, they're two very different individuals.
Yes.
So yeah,
But
absolutely.
thank you, Sissy, for having us on here.
Yeah, thank you. It's
Again.
just it's important that we get these messages out to everybody, because especially my clients, they need a lot of encouragement and support and love and upliftment. And so do I as well. I mean, I need it too to keep me going, because as he knows, I have literally had conversations with him multiple times of, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm sick and tired
I have
of
had
it all.
those conversations too.
Yeah, I have those chats with him regularly of, I don't want to, I just can't take much more of this place.
And then he
So
always makes me laugh and I forget about it.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, in my case, I was in Utah sitting there in the national parks going, why the hell, remind me why the hell I came here again, because this is, because I was watching all these non-player character people and going, I don't understand why I have to be with all these humans. They're driving me nuts. And then I looked out over this incredible view and said, oh yeah, that's right. I came here for Mother Gaia.
Right.
I came here for her. I came here for this beautiful planet. The people
And
that
for
are
our
living
beautiful
on,
family.
yeah, the people that are living on the planet, the humans, are not a lot. 70% of them are basically dysfunctional and not very nice. But
Exactly.
who did I come here for? I came here for the team. And who's the team?
Yeah.
You and all of my clients, my friends, my star family, all of
Our
the
family.
people. Yeah, our what we call our light worker, all the light workers and star seeds that are here right now to
Yeah.
transition the planet. That's why I came here. I came here for them, and I came here for Mama Gaia and for the Christ family. That's why I came here.
Yeah. And thank
But
you for
the
being a part of this family.
yeah, thank you as well. But the other humans on this earth, I see them and I just kind of put up what I call a violet flame wall, that violet flame of transmutation. I just kind of
Yeah.
try to put a curtain or a wall up between me and them so that all of their vile little energies just kind of stay away from me.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
can
their
relate.
vile
I get it.
energy. Yeah, I don't want their vile energy. So, anyways.
But thank you for having us on here.
Oh, you're
Forgive me.
welcome. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to put Michaela's contact info if you want to do a session with Michaela and you're in the United States. She does not work with people outside of US because of time
And that
zones.
doesn't mean we don't love you.
It doesn't
That
mean
doesn't
she
mean we don't
doesn't
love you.
love you. It has to do with her time schedule and her situation in her house and what she's dealing with there. She has a very limited window of time when she can work with people, and it only is beneficial for people in North America. And so that is why she focuses on that. It has nothing to do with her not
Because we are
wanting.
here in the East Coast. So
Yeah. 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 She's on the East Coast of the United States, and she has to work within her time constraint because of her family and a lot of other issues. So
if you
please,
hear background noise in the background, I can't help it, love.
yeah. I've never ever heard any noise though. You always say that and I never hear it. So I don't think it's coming through very much because you said that
Well,
many
that's a plus.
times and I've never heard the noise. So
Because they study scream and do their thing.
yeah, I have the same thing going on in my house a lot of times. Like last night when I made my video about the parks, my husband and my daughter were up right up above my head being quite loud, very, very loud. And
Right.
it did not come across on the video as far as I know. So
That's a plus.
yeah, yeah. Maybe the angels are helping block all of it out for us.
And thank you to this family for doing that.
Yeah. So, but I have to get going because I have a busy day. But I thank you so much, Michaela, for joining me again, and Yeshua for joining
Of course, sister.
me and everyone on this channel. And I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody who's watching. And Michaela's info and her channel, and also our sister Katrina's channel info is going to be below in the description.
Because I did work with my sister Katrina as well.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yep.
Her
Katrina.
energy is very similar to mine as well. So there's another sister in the loop.
Yeah, Katrina is another one who talks to Yeshua, and her messages are all incredible. And so we highly recommend that you go to her channel, which is Red Mountain Shaman, and it will be listed below with Michaela's information. So, all right. Well, thank
We
you
love
all.
you all.
We love you. All right.